I like to think of it as it's the area code 470, but it's June 1st and then May 15th. So 470-601-0517. All right, Mr. Kirk, first question we're going to ask you, and this is to honor Mr. Sue, who actually asked us this question in January. Who's your pick for the Super Bowl?
You know, my pick for the Super Bowl was the Chiefs. I just didn't see Tom Brady and the Bucs pulling it off, man. But hey, prove me wrong. And shout out to the Bucs and to Mr. Masucci. I know he's happy. He's a huge Bucs fan on campus, and they pulled it off.
I have experienced this because I'm much older than you. But isn't it nice to still have sports heroes that are older than you winning championships?
This is the truth.
You know,
absolutely.
You can aspire to that. So, Mr. Sue, that was for you. While we're on the idea of predictions and things like that, can you tell me who do you have in your bracket? Who's winning it all?
You know what? I got a feeling that University of Michigan. You know, when I was younger, I was a fan of the Fab Five, and I was out there on the courts with my black socks and my baggy shorts. So I'm a fan of Michigan, and I hope they can pull it off this year.
All right. I remember that infamous timeout that Chris Webber called.
Oh yeah, he'll never leave that.
Yeah. So I'm a Big Ten boy myself. I'm really happy with Iowa seed, but I have to give a shout out to Illinois. Or my mom would be angry with that with their seed. But so let's go ahead and ask some questions that have been sent to us earlier today, or not today, but as we've been getting questions. Where did you go to elementary, middle, and high school?
I'm going to eat while we're talking. Is that what?
Oh, yes, please do. And while he's doing this, I do have to give an apology to my Bear Facts students. If you've ever been in my Bear Facts class, you know that I really only have one rule. Well, a couple rules, but the main rule is you never eat on camera. That's just one of those pet peeves. But when you're given time by your principal in a pandemic, there are some rules that are made to be broken. So, Mr. Kirk, where did you go to school?
Well, elementary school, I went to a couple of elementary schools, actually. I went to Linda Vista for kindergarten, and then I went to Sultana Elementary. This is all in Ontario. I went to Sultana for first grade, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. For some reason, 2nd grade, my mom wanted to put me in a school called Anna Borba Fundamental School in Chino. So I went there for a year, had to wear a button-up shirt, could not wear shorts every day. I wasn't feeling it, so went back to Sultana. And then I went to Woodcrest Junior High instead of De Anza. De Anza is where I was supposed to go, but Woodcrest was across the street. So ended up going there for junior high. And then Ontario High School is where I graduated from. Went there all 4 years in high school.
Excellent. And Mr. Kirk, if we can have you talk a little bit in the mic.
Sure.
And I need to get that turned up, but I'm not exactly sure what mic that is, so I'm probably going to be really loud in just a moment. But as you can see, it's the behind-the-scenes type of things. All right, so that was elementary school. High school, you went to Chafee?
No, went to Ontario High.
Oh, I apologize to the Jags and the
Is this
Tigers.
being recorded? Yeah.
Yes.
It's all good, Jags.
So one moment, please. And then in college, you went to?
For college, I went to Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, HBCU, Historically Black College University.
And then you have your master's because you have your credential, and apparently we're still not getting sound, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. So if
I'll try to speak louder.
No, I don't think it's you.
Okay.
Now we have no sound at all. That's really curious. Thank you, those of you who are letting us know and paying attention.
This is a challenge for everyone. Well, there's no sound at all, so they can't even hear me speak.
Right.
I was going to challenge them to lip read, but
okay, I don't know if we're live. We seem to have sound, and we seem to be getting that there. Yeah, I think I just heard you have your napkin. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and keep moving. So,
there we go.
There we go. Yeah. So, your master's degree.
Yes, I also got my master's degree at the same university, Southern University. Kind of went straight through and was able to get my bachelor's and master's in 5.5 years.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so now that I'm off my game because I'm trying to do multiple things, let's Let's get some more questions going on. And thank you for those of you who are bearing with us.
Mm-hmm.
You were a teacher before a principal, because you had to be.
Correct.
Subjects, what were the subjects you taught?
I taught U.S. history, and I taught African American studies, which is elective at the first high school I ever taught at. And then I also was a PE teacher. I taught middle school and high school PE and adaptive PE before going into becoming an administrator.
Did you have a favorite, like I love teaching my advertising unit. I love that. So did you have a favorite, not a thing that you taught or subject, but like a favorite lesson?
You know what? One of my favorites was in U.S. history, the unit talking about the Harlem Renaissance. You know, I just loved the fact that that was an era where there was so much innovation and creativity and the birth of a lot of influence on culture and especially music within a lot of communities, specifically in the African American community. A lot of inspiration comes from that, and I just really found myself really diving in and enjoying that era.
Excellent. All right, before I ask you the next question, I'm going to, again, give the phone number. If you'd like to ask anything live, please text us to 470-601-0517. So 470, June 1st, May 17th, 470-601-0517. Next question, let's talk about college. Do you have an appropriate college memory that you could share with the world?
Appropriate, I do. A couple come to mind. The first I think of is I had an opportunity to actually hear President Obama speak at our university when he was on his first campaign trail, his very first, before he was elected his first term. That was pretty cool to see and be a part of. I played baseball in college, and I was a pitcher in college, and my senior year in class, but my sophomore year on the field, because I missed 2 years of shoulder surgery. Anyway, I got a chance to pitch in the playoffs against the #1 team in the nation. It was Tulane University at that time. And getting a chance to play at University of Tulane, 105-degree weather and 100% humidity, and against the #1 team in the nation was a great experience, definitely. And I met my wife. She sees this. I met my wife in grad school. Yeah, that was by far the best memory.
Yeah, we can't add in. I mean, this is live.
Grace,
yes.
Grace, my wife.
Mrs. Kirk. Maybe next time we'll have lunch with Mrs. Kirk. Ooh, that would be fun.
It'd be a lot more interesting.
This just came in from Nick in my from my Digital 1 class, who made an awesome mask video, by the way. He wants to know what hobbies do you have?
You know, a new hobby of mine, and this is a shout out to my daughter. I have a junior. My daughter's a junior in high school, not here, but she really got me into anime. She's a huge anime fan, and that came out of kind of left field. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, and then out of nowhere, we just started watching some anime and really enjoyed that. I really love just trying to decompress and spend time with my family. Yard work, my wife thinks it's a chore. It's therapeutic for me. I love to golf and listen to music and podcast and read a lot of audiobooks while I'm driving. But those are the ways I try to disconnect and enjoy my time.
Excellent. And I misread that. That wasn't the Nick from my first period class who did make that good video. This
Great
is
job, Nick.
This is Nick. He graduated in 2008, and if I'm right, I think he now has a movie streaming on Amazon Prime called Words on a Bathroom Wall. So if you're watching still, check that out. Well done there, Nick. So yes,
shout out to Nick.
Decompressing and all that. That's excellent. Let's go back to a few more questions that were added to us. Speaking of books, if you had to title your memoir today, what would it be?
That's a great question. You know, I'd probably title it A Captain's Journey. No pun intended. Yeah,
no pun intended. Total pun intended. All right. Yes, I didn't know if it'd be like Letters from a Pandemic or...
I tried to stay away from that.
Yeah, Time Alone in My Den.
I don't think your mom wants to read that memoir.
If you could say one sentence to any relative, which relative would it be, and what would the sentence be?
Well, that's a deep question. If I could say one sentence to any of my relatives, who would they be and what would I say, pretty much? You know what? I would ask my grandfather that I've never met, my mom's dad, and I would ask him, why was he not in my mom's life? Yeah, I can go another way,
Yeah,
but that pops up as I've never met him. Always wanted to know who he was, and would like to know why he wasn't around for my mom. That's a question I'd ask.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And as you said, that seems like it'd be more of like a dinner and dessert with Mr. Kirk than a lunch conversation with that. So thank you for your vulnerability and being willing to answer that.
No problem.
You have an amazing staff on this campus, and present company excluded. Who is a shout out that you would love to give an awesome staff member? I don't think I asked that correctly.
Yeah, but to echo the question, you're absolutely right. We do have an amazing staff, an awesome staff, and I can give definitely more than one. But you know who I'm gonna give a shout out to? Miss Alejandra Sanchez. She is our girls' locker room attendant, and during this time in distance learning, she's really helped out tremendously in the front office, at the switchboard, and all other locations. But she always has a great smile. She welcomes me every day and everybody with a smile, and she has such a great spirit. So I really appreciate all she's done. So Miss Alejandra Sanchez, shout out to her.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the smile. I was going to jump in with that. And she just has this fiery spirit about her that just it just draws you in.
Yeah, and it's genuine. It feels genuine.
Excellent. This is a great question. We've just opened prom nominations, and our clubs are starting to decide who they want to represent them for their prom court. Do you remember your prom date's name?
I do. I'm guessing you're asking me to share that.
Well, no, I don't know. Maybe it could just be a first name, or maybe she's been relocated. I don't.
No, you know what? I haven't seen her in forever, but yeah, my prom date's name was Tiffany Campbell, and long story short, she's actually a reality TV star now.
Wow.
I wouldn't say star, but she's been on multiple reality TV shows. Yeah.
Mr. Kirk, we need to eat more meals together. I think we could just transcribe this, and there's your memoir. Letters from the captain. Oh, yes. Because I know this was a thing when I was in prom, when I went to prom. Did you coordinate your colors? And do you remember those colors?
I do. We coordinated somewhat. It wasn't like Dumb and Dumber where you had the baby blue and the orange. It wasn't like that. But I had a black suit, but I had a silver handkerchief and tie. She had a black dress, but it had gold accents, but you only see it when that light hits it. So not exactly the same, but there was a lot of black on both of us as far as that color.
Excellent. And a question just coming in on our text. Dodgers or Angels or Lakers? What are your favorite sports teams? I know you're a Raiders fan.
Oh, die hard. Raider Nation. I don't see anybody else. And I'm married to a Cowboy fan. Tells you all you need to know about Cowboy fans. My wife didn't tell me she was a Cowboy fan until after I said I do. That is a true story.
Right, but let's talk about college memories again.
Sorry. That's right. My wife, she was the best part of my college experience. I love you. Thank you, Ben. All right.
So besides Raiders,
yeah, grew up a diehard Laker fan, Raider fan. For baseball, because growing up, baseball was my first love, although I played all sports. I grew up really loving both the Angels and Dodgers, but I am a Dodger fan before an Angel fan, although I grew up loving and cheering for both.
Growing up, I was a Cardinals fan, and I had a really hard time with the idea of the designated hitter. But now I like to see them hit baseballs really far.
Yeah.
So now I'm a fan of that. Yeah. All right, we are winding down. We have a few minutes here, so if you do have questions, and if you're just waiting to text that, please do that, because we are winding down. So what is a fact about you that you think people would find surprising?
I don't know if it's surprising, but I don't think people get to see this side a lot. I'm extremely goofy, at home to, I mean, a different type of goofy. And it's a different type of goofy that only my wife and kids get to see. And maybe a couple of real close friends. But it's, as soon as I walk in the door, it's just a totally different experience. And even to the point my wife says, "Oh, okay."
Does she have to say, Mr. Kirk? Or no, I'm sure she doesn't call you Mr. Kirk because that would be strange. But Mr. Kirk, I need you to be serious right now, and then you have the conversation.
Yeah. Now I'm not immature, but definitely some level of goofy where she'll say, "Okay, that's about enough. That's good." Now, to the other point, there has been times where she says, "Mr. Kirk," and that's a message of Mr. Kirk doesn't live here. Go back outside, leave Mr. Kirk out there, and bring Josh here.
Excellent. All right. So we're going to go ahead and, as we know, we have our achievement rally, and I'm supposed to tell you that this is awesome. So you're getting some awesome. Of that. So
shout out to Grizzly Achievement 2 and the shirts, and I'm excited to check out the rally later on today. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was a perfect segue. It was out as if we planned it. Yes, so we are winding down to our Be Your Own Hero Grizzly Achievement Rally later today.
You know, and I know she had been through a lot. I didn't know the depth of what it was, but she's overcome so much, and it's just tremendous to watch where she is and where her kids are in the midst of everything that she's dealt with. So, hands down, my oldest sister is definitely one of the biggest heroes in my life.
All right, so we thank you very much. We are going to end our lunch conversation with in Fairfax this week. Grizzly Achievement took it over, and they had the people they were spotlighting, their student spotlights, take a BuzzFeed quiz to see which god or goddess you are. So we're gonna take that quiz with Mr. Kirk here. So I'm gonna hit a button, and I learned this about 3 seconds ago that I can actually hit that button and that happens. So Mr. Kirk, if you can.
Okay.
We'll have you go through that. And go ahead and take your quiz.
Check it out right here.
As Mr. Quirk, that's gonna stick. As Mr. Kirk is experiencing this, you ever work on a computer that's not yours, and you try to do the trackpad, and it's not working the way that you think it should? So Mr. Kirk is going to be a griffin. So as Mr. Kirk is picking his Roman deity, and I do like how you're keeping these thoughts to yourself. You're not elaborating. You're not narrating what's going on.
I don't know how sensitive these mics are. I'm whispering really, really low.
Well, so then I'll ask you: are you a cat fan?
I don't have anything against cats. You know, I don't know if I would be in the cat fan category, but I definitely have nothing against cats. Oh, there we go. This one looks like Leo, the one I had when I was growing up. I had a cat by the name of Leo and Jojo, and they both looked like that.
Leo and Jojo. Wasn't that a children's show? Or?
It may have been. I have no clue even who named them. I think my little sister did. Pick a dog to be a faithful companion. Ooh. This is a true story. I've never had one, but I've always wanted a wiener dog.
Do you have dogs?
I do. I have a schnoodle right now. It's a family dog. Dallas. See, I'm married to a cowboy fan. His name's Dallas.
Yeah.
Again, I love my wife. That was a great decision. Side view weapon of choice. Sword. Pick a constellation. Oh, is mine on it? Nope.
Can I ask, do you know your wife's constellation?
She is a Scorpio. Yeah, she is. I'll go Aries. All right. Finally, what do you want to be known for?
You are a pretty stylish guy.
Sometimes.
That's true. When you're not wearing like coach wear.
Well, it's been a lot of coach wear during this distance learning.
And that's not to take anything away from coaches.
Not at all. It's actually something I definitely embrace, going back to my roots.
I think you are Aries.
I'm Aries.
Wow.
Weren't expecting that? Or
Letters from a captain. That's what I think it all ties back to.
There you go. God of War.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, Mr. Kirk, it has been wonderful. Thank you so much for giving us this time.
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed lunch. Zait's Bistro, again, thank you very much. They have a grand opening taking place in Fontana on Sierra Lakes. That's going to be taking place April 1st. If you're in the mood for great Mediterranean, Zait's is on Baseline and Haven in Rancho Cucamonga. They have a lot of high school employees from Los Osos working there, current and former students. They help the community a ton. They donate a bunch of money to our football program. We have fundraisers there, so help them out if you can. If you're looking for good hummus, you can't go wrong at Zait's. So, Mr. Kirk, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Grizzlies. I appreciate you, love you, and claws up. Always got to do it.
Have a great break.
Same to you.